Fever down! Bow, bow, bow!
Man, I think it's the next step up mentality as far as players. Our shifts keep changing. Everybody doing a different role, and so I think we all got the mentality where you give and you sacrifice, and I think that's what y'all see.
Everything appeared hopeless without Caitlin Clark playing against a Dallas Wings squad that was desperate for an upset and had just suffered a humiliating loss to the Sparks the previous evening. Expecting to watch Clark play Paige Bueckers for the first time in the WNBA, the 2049-person crowd was treated to something even more spectacular. Your opinion of this Fever squad will never be the same after what happened in those last few minutes, and Aliyah Boston's 6 words after the game wonderfully captured the significance of this victory. Let's go on if you concur with the Fever remark.
Yeah, I think for us, it's about knowing that basketball is a game of runs, and they made their run in that third quarter, and honestly, just continue to stay composed and take it each possession at a time is something that we've been working on. And so for us, that was our focus: is get a stop, go down and score, get another stop, and we try to get a kill.
Consider the tremendous anticipation that surrounded the WNBA world as it discussed the battle between Clark and Bueckers, the 2024 #1 pick and the 2025 top choice. Everyone had been looking forward to this game since draft night, so it wasn't your typical regular season matchup. The Dallas Wings decided to transfer their game from College Park Center, where they typically play, to the enormous American Airlines Center, where the Mavericks play, because they knew they had something amazing in the works. Take a moment to think about it. Unless you know something important is going to happen, you don't just move a game to a 20,000-seat venue. Social media was alive with excitement as fans started buying tickets in large quantities. It was to be the game that smashed attendance records and showed the world how far women's basketball had come.
Finding out this morning that we probably need to hold out again today. It really is a day-to-day thing. And I think for us, making sure that we're prioritizing her long-term health and wellness. It's anybody who's had some of these types of injuries understand that sometimes it's a process. She's a quick healer, and she's been doing everything that she can to get back on the floor. So, we just want to make sure that we're hypersensitive to the big picture.
2 nights before the game, Clark's groin problem flares up, casting doubt on the season's most anticipated matchup. The main attraction may not even play, despite the fact that thousands of fans bought tickets simply to watch these two compete. Interview. But the issue was made more worse by the fact that the Los Angeles Sparks had just annihilated the team the previous evening. The squad appeared totally disoriented. The pace was slow and the ball movement was terrible without their top player in the spotlight. Everything that makes Indiana dangerous essentially fell apart when Clark wasn't playing, and Aliyah Boston barely got any contact.
I think the biggest thing for us is our attention to detail in our screening. We've got to be great screeners. We got to make sure we slow down and use our screen and our spacing. We've had some games where our spacing has been poor, and that has not allowed Kelsey to get downhill, and it hasn't allowed space for Aliyah to get going either. So I think that the 2 most important things for us right now offensively is attention to detail and screening and spacing.
Dallas was licking their lips when the Fever played without Clark, and they knew exactly what would happen. The offense gets cliched, Boston is forgotten, and the system as a whole falls apart. Nobody saw this coming, but it appeared like the perfect opportunity for the Wings to make a statement against a team that was struggling and wounded. Not even ensuring that the star would play, they broke the attendance record for Texas women's basketball. Think about the significance of this rivalry and the evolution of women's basketball. Although there was no confirmation that Clark would play, 49 people showed up.
We'll start Ari today. We'll start her and bring Sid off the bench a little bit. I don't want to take Kelsey out of what she naturally does instinctually on the wing and overload her from a point guard perspective. So with having Ari and having Sid, they'll give us a couple different looks right there.
No one knew what to expect from this new look as the Wings went into that game thinking they had a wounded animal around. Coach Stephanie White shocked everyone by starting Ari McDonald for the first time, completely changing the lineup that everyone had expected. Either a complete disaster or something truly spectacular was in store, and what happened next would reveal something about this attractive team that not even its most ardent followers knew existed. The Fever completely blow up as soon as the first quarter starts. They don't just get by without Clark on the court. Ari McDonald accelerates the tempo as though her life depended on it, delivering intensity that no one could have predicted.
Charles can't finish.
Gotta finish that.
Oh, beautiful pass. McDonald counted in one.
Run.
Everyone is being involved in ways that will make you forget. Clark thinks their only tactic is to stop Kelsey Mitchell, so he doesn't even play in Dallas when the game starts. After closing Mitchell and observing the Fever subside, they suddenly find themselves in the midst of McDonald's downward attack, for which they were unprepared. She's opening lanes that haven't been available all season and wreaking havoc on the Wings' defense.
Can't finish.
As a big, you gotta lean in. You can't be falling away.
McDonald has been outstanding.
It's much more amazing because of this. In the first quarter, McDonald not only makes baskets, but also executes smart plays that create opportunities for everyone else, including making perfect field goals. The Fever start the game by making their first 7 shots in a row, which is uncommon to see such execution.
Inside, can't get it. Lee Yu-Ru can't. Here comes Natasha Howard. 9-0 run for Indiana. Lexi Hull carries the three.
It seemed that
You got to get out on her, ladies. She's shooting 51% from beyond the arc.
Aliyah, the Wings need to take note of McDonald's speed because it allows Boston more room to operate down low, where she scores points fast and pulls down rebounds like she hasn't seen this season. Boston is finally beginning to receive the touches she dearly needs, and as she positions the ball to inflict damage with each possession, you can actually see her confidence increasing.
Shooting to open the game. The Wings are only 2 of 14. Howard lobs it inside Boston, and Maisha Hines-Allen got lost. Allowed for the easy 2.
and you down to Natasha, and she's going to get in the paint. And so the defense has to step up to protect the drive, and now she puts that air on the ball, and AB is able to finish that shot at the rim. That was beautiful.
The spectators who came to watch Clark play Beckers are witnessing something very different. They are witnessing a team reach its full potential when everyone contributes. 5 players, as opposed to just 1, are operating as a cohesive team by the end of the first quarter. Take a time to comprehend that. Indiana is ahead 33-13. In just 12 minutes, they scored 20 more points than Dallas, and even the Dallas fans are standing up to watch the game. That kind of appreciation from the opposing team's fans is uncommon.
This is what they do. Yep. Sometimes you're going to have some back-to-back games. Sometimes you're not going to be able to get in the gym and practice. Got it.
Huh.
Good night.
And again, the veteran schools the rookie.
During this stretch, Kelly Mitchell starts to become hot, but she isn't trying to force anything. Rather, the ball movement is helping everyone on the floor look good. Mitchell maintains her alignment with the offensive flow while scoring 10 points in the first quarter alone. This was about the Fever discovering what they might become as a team when everyone worked together, not simply about replacing Clark's contribution on the scoreboard. The true test was still to come, but the foundation was set for something truly extraordinary. The tale really takes off at this point. As Dallas starts to rally and the Wings figure out how to attack the defense and start making shots that weren't there in the first quarter, the comfortable lead rapidly narrows, and you can feel the momentum shifting in a way that unnerves Fever fans. Paige Beckers begins to put on an amazing show, with a perfect stat line that leaves everyone stunned. She scores 27 points and makes WNBA history. As the first player to score 25 points, dropping Beckers creates history. 2 steals and 5 assists, the kind of play that wins games and changes careers, is one in which there are 2 blocks and no turnovers. Hey!
Paige is just such a smart player. She reads defensive well. She knows how to pick you apart. And so when you play against her, you have to make sure that you're aware of where she is at all times. And also she does a great job of putting her teammates in great position. So for us, I mean, I feel like it's kind of similar in college and in the league. Like Paige is just playing great basketball and making sure that she sets up her teammates for the same.
The game slows down, the ball stops moving, players start rushing, and bad plays are made when Clark isn't on the floor. When the Wings reduce the gap to single digits, the fever normally fades away right here. During the game, everything that went wrong against the Sparks the night before starts to come up again, but Kelsey Mitchell is unfazed. With shots that would make Clark proud, she goes into full takeover mode. Mitchell makes 11 of 17 field goals, contributes 7 assists, and scores 32 points. More significantly, she controls the offense and routinely makes the correct play down the court, giving her teammates opportunity.
Every little thing matters.
Mitchell gives it up. Natasha Howard, beautiful shot. Howard with a double-double of 12 and 11. Indiana by...
Aliyah Boston performs exceptionally well under pressure. She takes down rebounds to prolong possessions and produces defensive stops when they are absolutely required. Boston makes 9 of her 14 shots, including all 3 of her free throws, to end with 21 points. As she completes all the minor duties that championship teams demand of their best players, the audience is going wild. They are seeing a heavyweight fight between two sides that are unwilling to concede an inch and are trading massive shots. That venue has an exciting atmosphere that only happens during major games.
Incoming! Yo, great job. Okay, great job. We weathered a storm. We found some toughness in the fourth quarter to be able to get stops and to execute, right? We grew tonight. I mean, it really, everybody just good stuff, okay? Good stuff all around. It's a big time win for us on a back-to-back at the end of a tough road trip, so good stuff.
Hey, one more. Coach's 100th.
All right, let's go. Here we go. Together, 3, 1, 2, 3.
Boston looks to the Fever fans scattered over the arena with only a few minutes left. Something seems to click in her gaze. She continued by saying that because the Fever shirts are everywhere and create excitement that moves with the team, every game is a home game. This team possesses championship-level heart, as evidenced by Mitchell and Boston's combined last-ditch attempt to seal the 94-86 victory when it matters most. According to Aliyah, Mitchell leads the fourth quarter and makes all the plays the Fever need to win. In 6 words, Boston summarizes the prior situation as he walks up to the microphone. The Fever's incredible triumph over a Dallas team that had every reason to believe they would win easily is what reporters are interested in, as is how they handled the pressure of playing without Clark. Boston says, his gaze focused on the camera, every game is a home game. When those 6 words struck a different note, everything that had happened in that stadium, the excitement, the confidence, the way this team performed as if they belonged on that stage, began to make sense.
There were a lot of Fever fans today at the game. What does it mean to you to just have their presence with you wherever you go?
Every game is a home game. I think you see that. People show up, they show out. I think it's great for this league, just people continuing to come to games and watch, because I think when people show up to watch a game, they might have came for one person, but they leave liking many more. And so I think that's the way you look at it, right? You've had this arena that's filled and people are coming in, they're like, whoa, I like her, she's tough. And so I think it's just great for the game.
She explains how without Clark on the court, the goal was not just to win, but also to show that this team's relationship with its fans is stronger than any one player. No matter where they play, Fever supporters follow them around and generate that excitement. It was evident during the game by the hot jerseys scattered around the stands, the raucous applause that erupted whenever Indiana made a significant play, and the standing ovations that were given by portions of the audience who had come from Indiana specifically to cheer on their team. Boston talks on how some people go to watch Clark at first, but they end up appreciating the squad as a whole. The 49 people who came thought they would see Clark play Beckers for the first time, but instead they witnessed something even more memorable than the game they had come to watch. They witnessed a team come into its own. They witnessed players step up when their star needed them most. They witnessed the kind of basketball that leaves a lasting impression on fans.
Likewise, I take pride in wanting to see people I've never seen before. So when you see different players that you admire and they want to support us, it's kind of like, oh man, they actually take heed to what we do and what we bring to the table as a league. Like she said, you kind of like appreciate the fact that people want to watch us play, and it kind of brings confidence to the game, so to speak. So it's a really good thing.
This idea is echoed by Kelsey Mitchell in her own interview when she talks about how the team's confidence rises when they see those fever shirts in the stands. These 6 phrases served as a rallying cry, proving that this team's identity goes far beyond its star player. According to Mitchell, that support makes it easier for the team to overcome challenges and seize opportunities. Additionally, it generates a positive feedback loop in which the players inspire the spectators and the people in turn give the players something to cheer about. It is about a familial relationship that cannot be broken by misfortunes or wounds.